Hey everybody, coming on today because I want to talk about safety for any of you that might be going to your first protest tomorrow or in the upcoming months. I've had experience. I've been to, I can't even count so many of them, and so I just want to give you a little bit of my advice, my experience. I think the number one thing is to keep aware of your surroundings. If you are going to a town that you've never been to before, especially for you, those of you that are going to DC tomorrow or in the future, I would recommend getting a map of the city. If it's a march, research where the march is starting and where the march is supposed to end, and then in between there, find your escape routes. The reason I say that is because one of the things that police like to do is a thing called kettling, which once the march starts, if they feel like it's maybe too aggressive, they will use their bikes and cars and whatever, and direct the march to a point that is basically a dead end. So they can corral everybody, kettle them, and start arresting. So if you see that this is happening, knowing where you are, you can get out of that situation, get out of it, and go back, to wherever your car is or someplace safe. I've had to do that more than once. Second, bring a bandana. Make sure you have water. This is for tear gas. I've been tear gassed a couple times, and because I had those things, I was able to protect myself and the people that were with me. Everybody's going to have a phone, so you're going to want to do the cell service, especially in DC. If you're going up there, will suck because they either throttle it or because so many people are trying to use whatever Wi-Fi they can. So you can't depend on a good Wi-Fi signal. So your phone's going to die because it's going to be searching. So I would say bring a backup battery, something small like this, cheap, or get something a little bit bigger. It's a little bit heavier, but these things will keep your phone charged, in case you need it. If you can, lock your phone. Use your eye, the optical option to choose it, not your thumbprint. Because a cop could grab your hand and force it onto your phone to open it, whereas with your eye, a little bit more difficult. If you have a phone, or maybe you have a little GoPro, film as much as you can during the march, and especially if something happens, something goes sideways, film it. Keep a record. Need a record. Look for obvious agitators, okay? Every time I've been to a march, there's always a group that seems to be purposefully trying to start a problem. I avoid those people like the plague, because it's just I feel like they call them agent provocateurs. I don't know if that's the case every single time, but I do know that, again, the powers that be are always looking for any reason that they can to shut down a protest or a march, and they are not above using plants, people to stir up trouble so they can come in and bust heads. So look out for those people, stay away from them. I would also recommend, if you're going to DC especially, to write a number on your arm somewhere of a lawyer or a friend that you can call to get you a lawyer. Very important, because they will take your wallet, they'll take your phone, you won't be able to look anything up, but if it's written on your arm and you get your one phone call, there you go. And I guess lastly and most dramatically, I would say that if you are going to Washington, D.C. tomorrow or in the future, just be careful. Our current president is looking for any excuse. He is pissing himself, waiting for the opportunity to shoot at protesters. That would give me pause. I love going to DC for demonstrations. They're always fun, if you can imagine that. You get a great sense of community. But the tides have changed. This guy wants to shoot people. Okay? He wants to shoot people. So especially if this is your first time at a major protest, just watch out. Be safe, be careful. Make your voice heard. That's the important thing. We need people in the street. But be aware that anything could happen at any point. I'm an old mother effer. I had 2 friends of mine that were shot at Kent State. Not killed, they both survived, but they were shot. And I'm pretty sure they weren't expecting to get shot that morning when they gathered for their protest. So that's it. I don't mean to be like Debbie Downer. I'm just trying to give some of you newbies some pointers that I've gathered from over the years. Take it or leave it. But like I say, just be safe and watch yourself and watch your friends. Okay? All right.